Hey, what is up guys, it is I, James Penrose here for I believe it's my 39th video on my channel. I lose track already, but yeah, I think this is my 39th video on my channel, and this video is going to be yet another Simpsons episode review for you guys watching at home, or on the internet, or wherever you are today. And this episode is going to be from Season 6 once again, because Season 6 is my favourite season of The Simpsons, and this episode is going to be, that I'm going to be reviewing today, it's entitled Lemon of Troy. Now, this is again one of my favourite episodes of the season, or of all time, actually. I mean, at least for Nice, the other episode that I reviewed from season 6. And that was pretty cool as well. I mean, I pointed out a lot of stuff, the plot and the storyline going into that. And I'm going to talk about this episode for you guys right now. And I've got some notes here on my laptop here. So the basically plot and the storyline here is that one day Bart goes skateboarding, and he skateboards on wet cement, and he dreams of writing his name in cement, and that everyone would appreciate him for that. So that's what he actually did. And then Marge came up and said that, she was basically lecturing him on the importance of town pride, like we already mentioned before. I mean, then afterwards, when the family were having their family meal, Marge was saying, you know, this town is a part of us all, a part of us all. Where you're wearing a cap, you're wearing Springfield. When you eat fish or whatever, you're eating Springfield. When you drink lemonade, and that's the key one, you're drinking Springfield. She's talking about the importance of Springfield, and I love that bit there, because it's significant with the storyline, and that's what I really like to see. Then afterwards, we see a segment with Bart and Milhouse going up to the lemon tree, I believe, and with all the other kids there, but Bart and Milhouse more specifically. And they were talking, well, and Bart was saying to Milhouse, you know what, Milhouse, Springfield isn't a bad place to live when you get used to it. And from out of nowhere, the Shelbyville kids come up from out of nowhere, and this one kid, I can't remember his name, but he says, Springfield sucks. And then the Springfield kids get right up close and personal with them. They didn't break down to a fight or anything. And Bart's like, hey, stop talking bad about my town, man. And the guy's like, well, why don't you make me? And he's like, and Bart's like, I don't make trash, I burn it. And it went on from there. They were both insulting each other back and forth, until it got to the point where the kids from Shelbyville were actually going to take their lemons from that lemon tree, and then the Springfield kids were actually throwing the lemons at the Shelbyville kids, and then they just ran off like cowards. And I think it was after that, actually, the next day at school, when they were talking trash about the Shelbyville kids, saying that they think they're so big, but in reality they're not, then all of a sudden Nelson comes in and interrupts class and says, quick, something's happened, no time to explain. And the 5 kids were Milhouse, Bart, no, I said Milhouse twice, Milhouse, Nelson, Martin, Todd, and Database. I haven't really come across Database's character most of the time. He's not really, I can't remember his name. But yeah, they come up towards the lemon tree spot, and little on did they realise that lemon tree had been stolen, and the tracks of the lemon tree were leading towards Shelbyville. So it was pretty obvious from there that we all knew that the Shelbyville kids stole that lemon tree, and this is where the storyline gets pretty interesting. Because afterwards, Bart leaves the house, and before he does, he says to Marge, you know what, Mum, something you said the other day really got through to me. And he's like, you know what, I'm going to teach some kids a lesson. And then he goes to Milhouse, and he said, come on, get your gear, let's go, because they were planning to go to war with Shelbyville, combat war with Shelbyville. And they step past the line, go into Shelbyville, and I love how Milhouse utilises that kit that he wore to pretend that he could go anywhere, and the Shelbyville kids will not see him, they'll just get completely freaked out by it. That was funny as hell, how he would just actually view that in his mind. And Bart's like, you know what, if we're going to get these guys, and if we're going to get that tree back, they have to go undercover. That's the only way they can see it, making it possible. And Bart said what he needed was a new face. And Milhouse ended up getting this disguise kit, which was proven very useful at first until the end of it. Bart ended up dressing like a Shelbyville, talking like a Shelbyville person, like he was actually from that city. And he was ended up forced by the leader of the Shelbyville kids to go write Springfield sucks on this mountain wall in huge letters, which we thought he did at first until he wrote Springfield rules suckers. And then that's when he took off the disguise kit and he said, it's me, Bart Simpson. And at first the kids were like, huh, Bart Simpson? And then he said, from Springfield? And he's like, oh, he's from Springfield, let's get the son of a bitch! And then they start crowding on him, and then the Bart ends up going up. Well, he tries to distract the Shelbyville kids by saying someone's attractive cousin back in the background, and that's when they turn their backs, and then Bart escapes with the skateboard, and then the kid, again, I can't remember their names, because we barely know anything about them, but one of the kids was like, hey, he thinks he can outskate me. Really? He thinks he can outskate me? And then he gets his skateboard and chases him, and it's a huge skateboard chase around Shelbyville. And what I noticed that Shelbyville, it's just like Springfield, except the names of the places in Shelbyville are called different names. It's the same thing, but different names. For example, Moe's in Shelbyville, I believe, is called Bo's or Co's or whatever. And the groundskeeper Willie from the Springfield Elementary School, well, actually the Shelbyville Elementary School, is a woman who's actually Scottish as well. And she's like, slow down, you sly little suckers! I can't speak that language properly, but anyways. Bart ends up going into the zoo place where all the animals are, obviously, and he locks himself in this tomb where all these mannequin tigers are, and there's a note on one of the doors that says, caution, exit through door 7 only, and all the other rooms contain mannequin tigers. And the Shelbyville kids realise where Bart is, and then afterwards Bart's like, oh, I got it, and he opens one of the doors, and the tigers were about to eat him, and he shuts the door, and he's like, oh shit, I don't got it. And that was hilarious. I could not stop laughing. That was one of the funniest moments right there. That's what really made it a good episode, these funny moments in part of these episodes. And then Bart realised what the 7th Roman numeral was. He got out of that door in time, and then Bart afterwards was down about this. He was to the point where he was giving up, basically, where he was saying, you know what, it's no use, we ain't gonna find this tree, and everything is just useless, just like that yellow lemon-shaped rock over there, until he realised that was actually one of the lemons that came off that lemon tree. Then he actually saw the lemon tree behind him, until he realised it was in a place where he couldn't get it, and that the Shelbyville kids were only allowed to go there. And the tree was surrounded by the Shelbyville kids who were driving around in peds or in motorbikes or just bikes itself, and they were making lemon juice out of the lemon trees, with the lemons obviously. And then, but before all this, actually, the parents of the Springfield kids that were going to combat war against Shelbyville, these parents, they had no idea what was gonna, well, they had no idea what they anticipated to happen, how far they were really going to go with this whole lemon tree stealing thing. And they're all concerned, worried, and just basically concerned for their well-being, of how their safety's going to end up, how they're going to get kicked their asses, or I don't know what they were expecting to happen. So the parents ended up trying to track them down in Shelbyville, and they did eventually. And they weren't happy with the kids at first. And Homer says to Bart and all the other kids, you know what, kids, you're in big trouble running away from home like this. And Bart's trying to get his side of the story round, saying, you know what, they stole our lemon tree, why should we take this? And Homer's like, I don't care what excuse you've got, nothing's going to stop me in the middle of this speech, because you're going to... Lemon tree? And that was funny, because he said nothing's going to stop me in the middle of his speech, and all of a sudden he goes, lemon tree? And that's where he stopped the speech, and that was so funny, it was hilarious. I pissed myself laughing there. And then afterwards we have this confrontation with Homer from Springfield and the kid's dad from Shelbyville, and Homer explains to that guy, you know what, that lemon tree's been part of Springfield's history since as long as we can remember. Give it back or we'll burst in there and take it. And the guy's like, burst in here and take it? You must be stupid and you look. And Homer's like, stupider like a fox! And then he tries to go over the rails to try to attack him. He tried it twice and he failed on both attempts because let's just put it, he's too overweight. He's not fit enough. And then the Shelbyville guy was just like, don't you get it, Springfield, it's over, you lose. Now if you excuse me, all this talk's making me hungry. And then he eats the lemonade, and yeah, that was a funny moment. I love how he just spoke, and I loved his laugh. He's like, you know, that was a weird moment, but again, it was a funny laugh. And from there, the Simpsons fans were thinking, there's no way they're going to get this lemon tree back and it's going to end happy ever after. This might actually have a sad ending, which would be surprising. And Bart's like, you know what? There's got to be some key, some way to get that tree back, just some way. And then Bart spots a hospital and ends up getting the RV to pull over to that hospital. And then all of a sudden the Shelbyville driver spots that vehicle parked in the hospital, and he drags it into the area where the lemon tree actually is. And this was a smart move on the part of the Springfield guys, because they ended up sneaking out when the coast was clear at night time, so it was harder for them to notice, the Shelbyville guys. They ended up getting the lemon tree, then the Shelbyville guys noticed what's going on, noticed that the Springfield people are stealing the tree from what they stole in the first place, and they tried to shut the gate before they could drive through, and we thought that they weren't even going to get through because something was messing the batteries with the car, because Flanders couldn't start the car to get away because Homer was too busy cooking. And that was funny. He didn't even realise the seriousness of the situation. He's just like, fuck it, I'm going to cook. Ooh, sorry. And then the car started, and they managed to sneak away, and they got the tree back, and it was a great ending from there. And the ending was the Shelbyville kids had to drink with some disgusting pink juice. I don't know what that old man called it from Shelbyville, I don't know. But overall, great episode, great storytelling in this episode, a perfect 10 out of 10. Like always, I recommend, if you don't have these seasons or episodes, please make sure you get them. I mean, you won't regret it one bit. You'll enjoy every second of these episodes that I've talked about. And don't know what my next Simpsons episode is going to be on. So yeah, other than that, I'm going to end this video off by saying thank you guys for watching this video, this episode review of Lemon of Troy from Season 6 of The Simpsons. Make sure you guys like this video, comment on this video, subscribe to my channel. And also, before I end this video off, it also looks like I'm going to be, I don't know when I'm going to be doing, because I've come up with these videos from FIFA 14 gameplay of this FA Cup run that I've been starting as York City. I've managed to get past rounds 1 and 2 against Stevenage in round 2, and round 1 was I can't remember who round 1 was, but yeah, I'm going into round 3 against Coventry City. I think I'm home this time. I mean, I've played 2 matches back to back away from home, so yeah, hopefully I'll make round 4, and I don't know when I'm going to be posting the round 3 match. Sometime next week. You'll definitely expect it to be out there, definitely by next week. So that's pretty much it, guys. Peace out.